Hi, everyone, and welcome to Extra Time. And what a fantastic extra time it is to finish before Christmas. A 3-2 win at Bristol City that, in the end, I thought was well deserved. Joined, as ever, by two great guests this afternoon, Huddersfield Town club ambassador and general legend Michael Hefele, and Andy Lawson, our resident Huddersfield Town fan as well. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. And I must thank Sportsbroker as well, of course, who, without their support, we couldn't bring you these pre- and post-match shows. So very big thanks to everyone at Sportsbroker. Sometimes we sit down on these this season and there's been games where there's not been loads to talk about. Definitely not the case today, guys. So we're going to try and get it all in. Andy, I'm going to come to you first as just to say what a fantastic win that is. Just what the doctor ordered.
Brilliant win, Dave, certainly. And total honesty here, when the goal went in from Bristol City in that first minute, my heart did sink. So the fact that Town had that to contend with in the first moments, and then we still come out of this with a 3-2 victory. As you say, Dave, this is exactly the kind of thing that we wanted going into this Christmas period. So I'm delighted tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, didn't start well. We're in the second minute when Bristol City opened the scoring. Michael, I want to come to you as a fantastic centre-back. Levi Colwill has done so much right this season. He's 18. He's been an absolute revelation. When you can do the things that Levi can do and he makes the complicated look easy at times, is there that risk to try a bit too much at times? Because I think it's fair to say, on the other side, Matty Pearson takes no risks. If that ball drops like it did, it probably ends up in Rowe's head. Levi's almost trusts himself so much that he's worked himself into trouble, doesn't he?
This is the problem when you have like too much technique and too much confidence in your own abilities. You try to solve every situation nicely and don't want to kick the ball out because this looks then sometimes clumsy. So you try to play out, you try to make the perfect pass or regain the ball and open up the play straight away. But in some situations, what Levi has to learn is to clear the ball. He played a fantastic season for us. He had got so much to offer. But in these situations, you have to decide, this is very dangerous. I just clear the ball, even if it looks not so nice. But the danger is gone, and that's it.
Do you think, Michael, as well, Levi's obviously made an error. Is there a responsibility as a centre-back partner, and we have another two, to cover a bit more in case that happens? Because there's always the possibility that you could miskick the ball or something like that, because it's very easy sat here watching that goal, but from when the error happens, it's a very simple ball across the face of goal that completely takes the rest of the defenders out. Is it your responsibility to switch on to things that could possibly go wrong in that position?
Definitely. This is always like more mistakes in a row because like it was a long ball. We missed the header first of all. Then Levi comes in this awkward position where he's like out of his, on the middle of the pitch. Everybody has to shuffle over. We can still try to defend a little bit better with the cross. Then, yes, you can help it out and you have to be switched on and you have to help out each other because the guy who does the mistake is not the guy who's to blame. The other team members are to blame if they can't help you. This is how I brought up and this is my mentality. You can make a mistake, but I'm there. I have to help you then. I have to solve the problem and then everything is good. So we have to be a little bit more switched on. When we're out of organization, there's still a little bit what you try to what you can do to help. But in this situation, obviously, it was not the case. We could defend a little bit better, but this is the game, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. And we responded well, Andy, as well, and won a penalty 3 or 4 minutes afterwards. It's a harsh one. We're listening to the guys on Radio Leeds who provided the commentary today, and it's not one of those where you always look at the penalty taker when a penalty doesn't go. In many ways, Danny Ward hits the ball as cleanly as anyone we've got. It's a good height for him, maybe, Bentley, but it's a good save as well, isn't it? You have to give the keeper some credit in that position.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you're right, Dave. I feel that, yes, the keeper does deserve the credit. I feel, yes, it is a good height for him. But also, if you look at how Danny Ward went into that, Danny Ward actually went in full of confidence, which, considering how Town haven't really had much penalty-wise for quite a while, it must have been quite a daunting moment, actually, to be the one who takes the ball. But no, he took it very confidently. He looked as though he knew what he wanted to do with it. I think that actually is an indicator that Danny Ward generally at the moment is feeling really quite good about everything. And okay, yeah, in that moment, yeah, fine. The keeper does what's needed. Danny Ward puts it in a place where the keeper can save it. But I feel overall Danny Ward's performance actually just shows that he is feeling very confident. I feel like the fact that he wasn't able to score that but still managed to get a goal today, ultimately I think shows where Danny Ward, the footballer and the person, is at the minute. So overall from him, good performance. Shame he didn't score that, but still we get the 3 points. So it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme.
I think that's a really good point. I was going to come on to it as well, that as much as Danny did miss the penalty, he actually made a huge contribution to this game today. So yes, he missed the penalty, but he came away with an assist and a goal and we've won. So in terms of Danny Ward, he's very much in the plus column today.
Oh, very much for me, certainly. If you look at what he does now up front, he is providing exactly what this tactic needs. In fact, if you look at how we play as a team, it's quite clever how we utilise that forward player. If you look at when he needs to put the ball in as a shot, he's very good at that. He can pass it on to one of the wingers either side. And then once he's had a big impact and really worn out defenders, that's when today we bring on Jordan, but also we can bring on Fraser, who's like a bundle of energy that defenders must absolutely hate. So I feel actually that that's a position that for Town, I feel almost is underrated by how well the players who were there play. But like I say, Dave, the fact that Danny could not score the penalty, but still do all the things that he's done, I feel shows just how important he realises he is within this team.
Absolutely. Hef, I'm intrigued in your coaching insight into this. I thought we were better today. You see the first half, and particularly up until we scored the third goal as well, I thought generally we were the team in control. We had more of the possession. I thought even at 1-0 down, we were playing some good stuff, creating some great opportunities. Did you see anything that brought that change about today? And I'm going to suggest two things to you in case I'm sure you might have seen other things too. I thought Harry Toffolo had one of his better games for a while. I thought he looks like he was higher up the pitch than I've seen him recently. And I also thought that just generally, that actually Bristol were they're kind of happy for us to have the ball in certain areas. It almost let us build a momentum on the ball. What was your view on what improved this afternoon?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. We were in the first half, we had the control, we had more the ball, but like Bristol allowed us to have the ball. It was a little bit, I thought like, what they're going to do here? Because like they're playing home, but they were sitting back and we were like playing confident our game, what suits us as well. Obviously with the 1-0 down early doors, it was a little bit awkward to play then. But in general, we played confident football. We played more aggressive football, more energy I could saw. And even Thomas was today as well more. It was just more from him. The last couple of weeks he had a little bit of dip, but he had some nice runs down the wing, some good crosses, some good momentum, and this is then what we feel on the end of the day. Lewis O'Brien had a very good game as well. He covered all the pitch, and in general, the passing looked sharper. Confidence was there. And to come back then in such a difficult circumstance where we're coming from, when you see the last game, the second half was not great, to play with so much confidence is a huge positive. And then away scoring 3 goals, so we can be very proud of this performance. I want to add as well to Danny Ward. Yes, he had a great game there. You can miss a penalty, is no problem. But as well, what I want to clearly say here, his working rate out of possession is unbelievable. He's chasing the goalkeeper, he's chasing the centre halves, he's chasing everybody, and then he's back in position. So he's a huge part of our team.
I think for a long time, Michael, and I'll go back to the Huddersfield Town team you played in so successfully. We ask our centre forwards to do an awful lot of work other than score. And obviously, scoring's the be all and end all ultimately, but sometimes in teams, particularly sometimes when teams play 2 up front, one of the strikers traditionally in England was kind of just given the remit to go and tap the ball in from 5 yards, 6 yards. But when you play one up front in a David Wagner system or in a Carlos Corberán system, like you just alluded to, you're asked to do an awful lot of work, dropping in to come and link the play. Sometimes the emphasis is on the wide players to go and be the most attacking forward when you're trying to build play. It's not an easy job that Danny Ward has to do in this team, is it?
Not an easy job. With all the runnings, you still need some power. Then when you got the ball, that you can score, then that you can play the final pass in the final third, and he did this superb. He won his headers as well. He was a pain in the I don't know if I can say this here, but he was a pain.
Hey, look how much you've changed, Michael.
Yeah, for the centre half.
Words, I think. Come a long way.
And yeah, it's a long way. And this energy is just great. It was good to see as well. Holmes finding the pockets. He's like an outstanding player. We missed him as well the last couple of games. What he's producing on the pitch, fantastic.
I agree, and that I was just about to say that, Michael. Andy, I'll come to you. When we have control of the ball and we have control of the game like we did, I think that's when you see the best of Dwayne Holmes, because it allows him to start to drift in off that side position and take up positions that are really hard to defend against. And I thought the goal was a perfect example of that. Really good position, reading of the game, and the finish was exceptional.
And as well, it's that determination that Dwayne brings. I mean, you're right in exactly what you say, Dave, with that. But there's just that extra bit with Dwayne where he wants to win it. He wants to be the one who gets to that position, who scores that goal. And I agree. I mean, maybe this is one for Hef as well, is that I've never played football really to any level of any great note whatsoever. But I imagine that Dwayne is the kind of player that as Dwayne keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you, that energy level, you must look at this and go, he's got to tire out at some point. And he never really seems to. And that gives him that ability to just keep pressing all again. So maybe, Michael, that's one for you. As a player, Dwayne's kind of stature and things, a bit of a pain.
I'll add to that, Michael, just before you answer. The other thing I always think about him is that he takes up positions that you don't really want to go to as a defender. So he's almost trying to drag you out of that position and create space for others too. It must be a hard player to play against, Michael.
Definitely. Andy, like you said, his energy level is just like ridiculous. I would be so annoyed if this guy is coming always running with all his energy, and he's smiling on the pitch as well. Mm-hmm. It would just make me so angry. And this guy is coming again. And even when you see he got kicked, he got tackled, he's taking the ball and he's going again. For my feeling here, since he told me he got like sheep at his house, I think like he's like a little sheep. He's like always running around, and so dangerous, this guy, always with a smile in his face. And this is what I love on him. I would love to play with him because he's finding the pockets. He's playing as well. I want to always something creative, and he's there. He's giving as well a little bit stick to the opponent, a little bit stick to the supporters, what I like. So he's full of confidence as well. And this is what we need, especially like in this circumstance, what we were. This positivity, this energy is crucial. And then obviously we get 3 points. And this is on the end of the day very important for us.
I think, Andy, when the team came out today, there were a few fans perhaps surprised there weren't more changes. You know, Coventry didn't go to plan, despite the fact that we drew the game. It was only one change today, but the man who did come in, Danel Sinani, made a massive contribution at a vital point of the game. Straight after half-time, he's still got a lot to do when he receives that ball. I thought it was a really accomplished finish from Danel today.
Yeah, he's a player who is starting to really show us what he can do since he's coming on loan from Norwich. He's shown he's really able to put a classy finish in. He's able to create. He's able, when given that little bit of space in the midfield, to put the balls out wide or whatever's needed to put the cross in. I feel as well, just to slightly track back a bit, Dave, but it all kind of comes to the same thing, is if you look at how we play, you've got that kind of real solid defensive structure now, which gives those above or those ahead on the pitch pitch, that freedom to do a bit more creativity. You've got Danny Ward at the top, who you know is also going to really help out. I mean, Hef says about his energy levels, the things that he can do to hold the ball up or to pass it on, whatever's needed. So that gives that midfield, that little group. So you've got your Scott High, Lewis O'Brien, Sinani and Dwayne. It gives them that opportunity to be a bit, I don't know if freer is the word, but it gives them that confidence that, well, if something happens, it didn't quite go right, these guys will cover me, or Danny Ward will hold it, or whatever's necessary. So I feel like the whole of that little unit that I've just mentioned did really well, because Lewis as well, he runs forever, and Scott High, his passing ability is great. I mean, when Scott High had that shot near the end, I screamed shoot, and I so wanted that to go into the top corner because he deserves that. And so I feel like, just to bring it all then back to your Sinani, yeah, he is part of a bigger thing, but he's shown just what quality he really has.
It's interesting, Hef, when you see the way we set up with, we just talked about Dwayne, and Danel does a lot of similar things. They're not traditional wingers. They may start in that position, but they must be very, very hard to track, because they do, when we're in good possession, they do drift into the middle of the pitch and get into goal-scoring positions. In the end, they've both scored today. When you can see it come together like that, we're a good team, aren't we? We've seen it this season. We're in a good position in the league. Those two can be quite key to the way we play.
100%. We missed Daniel as well on the last game, because he gives us this little bit of magic. He got it in his left foot. He searches as well. He finds the pockets, and he's arriving in dangerous areas. And this goal, to be honest, you don't really have to score from this position, because it comes more or less from nowhere. He takes too many touches. From my feeling here, when the first touch would be clean and then you shoot, then I would say like yes, but like he take an extra touch and an extra touch and then still scores. This is different level. This is the quality what he brings to the table, because obviously he comes from Norwich. This is then the next level, but he has to still improve more. Has to continue delivery, more consistency, and then he can be a very, very good player, top player. But Dave, as you said, if everybody comes together and everybody is believing more in their ability, and as a team, we have a good team there. We can hurt the oppositions, and this we have to get in their heads, in our club, in the supporters. We got a good team there. We all have to believe. Yes, sometimes maybe the performance is not great and we draw or we lose one. Yeah, don't get upset. Believe in the lads. They're doing a fantastic job. So, this is the key message, I think, what we saw today.
Yeah, well said, Michael. I think, Andy, to add to that as well, it's important to have every player fit. We're no different than any other club in that sense. But to have Jordan Rhodes back on the pitch today, I think it was his first time on the pitch for the first team since August. And Aaron Rowe on the bench as well this afternoon, who might be a player that's forgotten about, but had a big role in keeping us up at the end of last season, scored that vital goal at Forest. That should add further encouragement to what Michael said, shouldn't it? It's an important time of year. We're one of the few that have got a game on today, we must remember as well. So there's going to be a lot of teams playing a lot of games in succession at some point. But there's some encouraging signs, not just the performance today, but for the medium and long term.
Yeah, I mean, you flag up Aaron Rowe. Aaron Rowe, I really hope isn't a forgotten player by fans, because last season I feel like he did have a big impact. But you're right, he's been away from first team action for quite some time. So yeah, good to see him on the bench. Jordan Rhodes, we know what Jordan can do when Jordan is fit. It was good to see him back. I agree with you, Dave. I think with everything as well that Hef has said, it's about looking at bigger picture sometimes, and as a Town fan, it can sometimes be a bit difficult to do that. But look at the bigger picture, look at what we have, look at the positives we've seen today. We've tactically played brilliantly. We've done what we needed to do against Bristol City. We then have these players coming back. We have players on the bench that are able to do things. I mean, Josh Karoma's on the bench. Last season, Josh Karoma was utterly essential in everything that we do. Today, we can bring him on as an impact sub, but we also know that when we've played several games over Christmas and New Year, we know he's going to be there, still available with the fitness levels of a fresh new player. So I do feel you're right in that, Dave. There's plenty to be positive about when you look at so many elements of what Town are doing at the moment.
And I think, not to criticise anyone, Andy, because that's football fandom in the end, isn't it? You know this better than anyone. you want to see your team win. You know, there's big picture stuff and that's important, but you just want to see your team win on a Saturday. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to see goals going in. There's nothing wrong with that as well. And Michael, you know, we might both work at the club, but we're both fans, aren't we? You know, we both would consider ourselves Town fans. And the game before Christmas, we've just come off the back of a bit of a disappointing game against Coventry, despite drawing. Like I said, it's just what the doctor ordered, isn't it, really? Bristol City as well, I should say. Not a place we're traditionally brilliant at. It's the first win at Bristol City since 2013. And that was a James Vaughan hat-trick, Andy. So that was a while ago. But to go into Christmas, Michael, with that little pick-me-up ahead of that game against Blackpool on Boxing Day is a real plus, isn't it?
Definitely. This is a huge boost now. You come from a positive moment, nick 3 points there, played good after like a difficult previous game against Coventry City, where we all were disappointed, and you felt it on the whole place, Dave. But this is football as well. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. We learned there's something. We try to develop now ourselves, and then now this busy period, you pick up another win, another 3 points, and then everything is like forgotten, and we just have to be like looking at the bigger picture. But it's so frustrating as well. Like you know, Dave, you and me, we're sitting together in the office more or less, and then when we have 3 points in the pocket, yeah, we are buzzing. When we lose, atmosphere. We leave all the atmosphere on Jonathan, you know, shouting at him. But this is on the end of the day, football. We've been in and around the place. So the lads bounce back brilliant. This gives a confidence boost now, and they just have to believe now.
Absolutely. Guys, I don't want to keep you too long. We could talk all day when we've won, like you're saying, Michael, but very conscious that you've all got lives to live. Fantastic for the lads to be able to make that long journey back from Bristol tonight on the coach in a good way. Fans as well, magnificent to see so many down there on the Saturday before Christmas. Town fans, thanks so much for all your support this calendar year. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I hope that's helped a little bit, that you can go into Christmas now with that good feeling. Michael, it's great to see you again. I know this isn't quite the Sky Sports studio, but we still appreciate you slumming it with me and Andy. That's really good. So well done for your TV debut the other day. It was more PG than your last time on Sky from my memory. You did very well, mate. So well done. Andy, thanks so much for joining us as ever. I know you're a massive fan as well, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Town fans, thanks so much for joining us again. And thanks to Sports Broker, I must remember as well, for their support. Have an absolutely fantastic Christmas from all of us here on Extra Time and from everyone at Huddersfield Town. A reminder, we've got Blackpool at home on Boxing Day. Tickets are on sale now at htfc.com/tickets. Merry Christmas, Town fans.
Frohe Weihnachten.
Merry Christmas.